In this video, we're talking about one of my top choices in builders. There's a lot to like about them. I like their huge range in elevations, floor plans, design choices, and yet we're gonna see there's one really big thing actually, that in all honesty, okay, there's probably a decent chance that it'll cause you to walk away and not even consider them. And I hate that because they are a really neat builder. They're what you would call like a mid-size luxury custom builder, and they have a really strong presence in Texas as well as Tennessee. They aren't building thousands of homes like some of the big national guys, but that's not really their game. Their focus is on fewer homes with more attention to detail. Of course, we're talking about Partners in Building, and in 2024, they closed on 243 custom and luxury homes. Now that's solid output for a builder in the custom space, and it was enough to get them ranked 166 nationally on Builder Magazine's Builder Next 100 list. That same year, they brought in around $343 million in revenue. And that gives you a good idea of their price point and buyer demographic. 243 homes, $343 million in revenue. So they aren't doing volume builds, but they do absolutely do high value homes. They were founded in 1986, so we are talking about a company with nearly 40 years in the business, and that kind of history matters, especially in an industry where builders come and go all the time. And it's not just about longevity, all right? They've also earned industry respect. They've won the Grand Award 4 times and have taken home 7 Best Product Design Awards from the Texas Association of Builders. So how do they stack up in terms of future reliability? Can I count on this company to be around to honor their warranty? Even though they aren't a high volume builder, they have been around for almost 40 years, and they do build in 2 states. So based on that, I would give them a B-. Okay, they're not the biggest builder on the block, but they've proven that they're stable and experienced. If I were to drive down the street in a Partners in Building neighborhood, what would that look like? Like, what can I expect to see? Well, let's take a look at some of their homes, okay? This first one has a classic European luxury vibe with a Texas edge. So think light limestone, green shutters, and arched accents. The next one is a fresh spin on the Tudor style, blended with transitional farmhouse design. You've got the steep roof lines and classic stone, but with modern trim. That kind of gives it a contemporary look. Then there is a showstopper, a modern luxury estate with symmetry and a bold presence. It pulls from modern Mediterranean, and I'm telling you, this one is made to stand out. Another one is a modern European-inspired 2-story. It combines vertical lines with traditional gables. Next up, we have a home with traditional brick roots, but updated with sharp lines and a modern door to give it a modern edge without losing its classic base. And finally, a modern ranch-style single story. It's wide, low, and minimalist, tons of balance, and upgraded with modern textures. So perfect for someone who wants luxury without tons of flash. I think one of the things I find most interesting about Partners in Building designs is how they blend styles. Like you can find European with a hill country twist or Mediterranean with a modern vibe. And it's that blending that makes their homes incredibly unique. Now let's get a feel for the style, finishes, and layout Partners in Building is offering inside. When browsing their site, you'll notice they do have a good number of 1-story and 1.5-story options, but 2-story plans are clearly the bulk of their portfolio. Garage options, well balanced with plenty of choices between 2 and 3 car setups. I would say Partners in Building leans into modern luxury, but they still provide a strong variety of external design and an amazing selection of different floor plans. So for that, they definitely earn a solid A. But what if you wanted to build from the ground up? Well, the first thing you'd have to do is decide on a floor plan. Partners practically offers you the moon when it comes to choices. I'm telling you, they have one of the most robust custom floor plan libraries you're gonna find. Their online plan inspiration tool shows hundreds of sample floor plans, and that's just a taste of what they can do. Plans range from 2,400 square feet all the way up to nearly 12,000 square foot. And you can filter by numbers of stories from 1 up to 3, bedrooms, bathrooms, garage sizes, even options like casitas or multi-generational suites. I mean, the whole gallery is very well organized. Another plus is that unlike most builders who split up their floor plans by community, they put everything into one central gallery, which makes it easier to browse. So based on how many filters and examples they show, it's safe to estimate they offer probably hundreds of plans, which breaks down to about 10 to 20 options per community. The architectural styles all over the map in a good way, right? You're gonna see everything from European farmhouse and Tudor to modern Mediterranean and hill country contemporary. Okay, so once you've decided on a floor plan, now you want to know how much you can customize it. Well, on the customization side, they are incredibly flexible. From minor structural changes, they let you tweak things like adding or removing fireplaces, turning a pantry into a wine room, swapping out a standard back door for sliders, or upgrading to oversized showers and garden tubs. And all of that is no impact to framing and usually pretty standard. For moderate structural changes, you're looking at things like adjusting room layouts. You can make a master closet smaller to expand the bathroom, convert part of a tandem garage into a flex room, or turn a hall bath into an ensuite. Enlarged patios, okay, that's also an option. Now, if you want to go big, they can handle big changes too. That includes adding rooms, bumping out the master suite, or adding a third car garage. In some cases, you can even turn a 1-story into a 2-story home. How about like supreme customization? Yeah, you can do that too, okay? You can bring in your own ideas or start from scratch with their in-house architects. They will help with drawings, engineering, and permitting, with all of that being in-house. Now, when it comes to design selections, you're not on your own. They have fully staffed design centers in Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Nashville. And these aren't showroom assistants either, okay? They are senior interior designers who walk you through everything from start to finish. You'll go through 4 design appointments over a 45-day period to make all your choices. So we're talking everything from cabinets, countertops, bathroom tiles, lighting, and hardware. Okay, all of that's on the table. And nothing is locked into a builder package. Like, you can mix and match as you go. And as you make decisions, okay? They also give you real-time pricing feedback to help you stay on budget. Plus, the inspiration around you is endless, okay? In-person galleries, home models, and an extensive online gallery. Designers also tailor everything to your taste, whether you're traditional or ultra modern. Lot sizes range from 50 footers all the way to acre-plus home sites. Now, already have land? No problem. They will custom fit a home plan to your exact lot. So between their structural flexibility and their interior design support, I absolutely give Partners in Building an A+ when it comes to customization. When it comes to warranties, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Partners in Building uses a third-party company called Home of Texas to handle their warranty service. That means you won't be working directly with the builder if an issue arises. You will be going through a separate company. Now, the warranty itself is what's called a 210, all right? You get 2 years of coverage for workmanship and materials, 2 years for systems like plumbing, electrical, and HVAC, and then 10 years for structural components. Now, the 210 format is pretty rare. Plenty of builders offer a 1-210, and more builders are offering a 1-2-6. So a 210 is a great thing. The one downside is that warranty servicing is handled by a third party, not directly by Partners in Building. And so that can sometimes create a layer of distance or delay in getting issues resolved, kind of depending on how responsive Home of Texas is. So while the coverage itself is solid, and it is, the experience may depend on how well that third-party company performs. Overall, I'd give their warranty an A-. The structure is strong and the coverage is great. It's just that you're not dealing with the builder directly when something needs fixing, which can be a key difference in how smoothly things go after you move in. If you fall in love with a particular floor plan from Partners in Building, the big question is, how many different Partners in Building communities will you actually be able to build it in? Well, they do have a strong presence across Texas, especially in Houston, Austin, and San Antonio. In North Texas, they are actively expanding with communities in and around Dallas-Fort Worth, including suburbs like Prosper, Salina, Flower Mound, Southlake, and Keller. That may sound like a wide reach, okay, but here's the catch. Most of their available lots and their active communities are concentrated to the north and east of Dallas-Fort Worth. So if you're looking for something in the southern or the far western parts of the Metroplex, the options are pretty limited right now. There are a few locations to the west, but it's not balanced coverage across the metro. Now, I do want to balance that out with the fact that you can have Partners in Building build on your own lot anywhere. So your options from that standpoint are wide open. But if it's a specific Partners in Building community that you want, that's where you're gonna find it limited. So yes, if you fall for one of their floor plans, there's a good chance you'll be able to find a spot to build it in one of their communities, if you're open to North DFW. But if you have a very specific city or school district in mind, particularly south or southwest of Dallas, your choices might be fewer than you expect. So based on that current regional spread, I'd give them a C if this was just about their available communities. But the fact you can also build on your own lot, okay, that definitely opens up the opportunity. So I'm actually gonna give them an A here. But you do want to know the distinction that actual Partners in Building communities really aren't all that plentiful, but you do have the option of building on your own lot pretty much anywhere. Now, as you're thinking through Partners in Building and whether or not they might be the right fit for you, this is something to keep in mind, okay? Partners in Building is very much a custom builder, and you're gonna see that in how few move-in ready homes they actually have. Right now, if you check their website, there are only about 20 available homes listed across all their markets. So that is a really low number, especially if you're someone who's hoping to walk through a finished home and move in quickly. If you click on the build on your lot section, you'll actually find more available lots than finished homes, which really drives home the point. Okay, they are set up for personalization, not volume inventory. And while that's great for buyers who want to be involved in the design from day one, it's going to be tough if you're looking for options that are ready right now. If I were rating the volume of homes I can buy right now and move right into, I would have to give them a D in this category. But to be fair, okay, that's also kind of the point. Partners in Building is built around creating homes tailored to the buyer's design and lifestyle. So their model just isn't geared toward having dozens of completed homes waiting around. So you want an inventory home you can move into within a month, okay, this probably isn't the builder for you. Let's talk about their pricing for just a minute. Now, right now, the lowest priced home you'll find from Partners in Building in the DFW area is about $840,000, located in their Oak Knoll Estates community. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, their highest priced home currently for sale is sitting at around $2.5 million in the Dean Farms community. So that gives you a pretty clear sense of where they're positioning themselves in the market. If you were to look at the Houston area, you'll see a lot more price variety. Like, they offer homes starting in the 500s there. But in DFW, they really tend to stay in that higher end territory. This builder isn't trying to compete in the entry level or even the lower mid-range price brackets. I mean, they are definitely targeting buyers who are looking for custom luxury. Their focus is less about volume and more about personalization and premium features. So if you're someone who cares about design control and you want higher end finishes, okay, they are definitely playing in that lane. The community with the most affordable homes is Oak Knoll Estates in Tioga, Texas, where prices start in those 800s. And if you want to go all in on the high end experience, Twin Creeks Ranch in Prosper is where you're going to find homes starting at $2 million. And these communities are the lower and the upper boundaries of their DFW pricing. Now, compared to other builders in the area, Partners in Building doesn't have the widest price range. You've got builders out here in DFW starting in the 400s and then climbing all the way to 2 million plus. I will say though, even though their overall spread isn't as broad, they're still talking like a 700,000 plus range, and that's significant. Again, it's just still upper end. So for pricing, I still think they earn a solid A, for pricing flexibility, but within the luxury space. But how about Google reviews? Well, in the DFW area, only 2 of Partners in Buildings communities have reviews, but both are pretty positive. Windsong Ranch has a solid 4.8 rating based on just 4 reviews. But Heath Golf and Yacht Club has an impressive 4.9 rating from 37 reviews. The lowest rating I found among these communities was still a respectable 4 stars. And if you check out some of the reviews from Heath Golf and Yacht Club, one 5-star realtor review really stands out. This is what they had to say. They said, "As a local realtor, I have toured countless new builds, and I have to say that Partners in Building in Heath, Texas truly stands out. Their homes are incredibly spacious, thoughtfully designed, and finished with top quality materials. You can see the attention to detail in every room, from the open concept layouts to the high-end fixtures and finishes. If you're looking for craftsmanship, space, and style in Heath, this builder should be at the top of your list. Highly impressed." Summarizing their community rankings, there are 2 community reviews with scores of 4.5 or higher and no reviews below 4.4. So that's 2 total community reviews, both very strong. So even though, only 2 DFW communities had reviews, both scored pretty high at over 4.5, and that earns Partners in Building an A grade in my book. Now, we need to talk about the contract terms and financing logistics with Partners in Building, because this is where you're probably going to be like, you know what, I knew there must be a catch, and there is. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that. Partners in Building requires you to have a construction loan with draws as part of their contract. And if you're not familiar with what that is, most production builders usually carry the financing risk themselves all during a new build. With Partners in Building, you have to share that risk, okay? You'll need to put down a deposit, and depending on your upgrades, you might have to pay extra. Then during the construction process, if something goes wrong, you can't just walk away. Unlike most builders, you close on your home before construction even begins. Now, since this is such a different setup, I spent some time on the phone with their preferred lender because I wanted you to be able to know how this works. Now, this is what she told me. Their construction loan is set up to only have one closing, so you won't have to pay closing costs twice. If you have at least a year's worth of housing payments saved, they won't count your current housing payment against your debt to income ratio. And this is really important for buyers who haven't sold their current home yet because they still need somewhere to live. Another key point is that the appraisal is done at the beginning, not at the end like it usually is when the home is fully built. The down payment can be as low as 5%. Now, if you already own the lot, its equity counts towards your down payment. So if you own the lot free and clear, that equity might cover it completely. During construction, you'll make interest-only payments that grow as your loan balance increases. Then once your home is ready, the construction loan can convert to a permanent mortgage, and you can put down a bigger amount to lower your monthly payments. So for example, if you sell your current home and you have $300,000 to put down, you can do that before that second closing and then have your mortgage recalculated. Now, I do want to tell you a few other things about their contract. First, there's no appraisal protection. If the appraisal comes in below the sales price, no protection. And remember, that appraisal is going to happen before construction even begins. I almost never say I like something in a new construction contract, but Partners in Building does something unusual, okay? They let you decide which trees get removed. And that is huge, right? Because we already know most builders, they just clear the lot, completely. Like, you know, we're talking turning it into a field. Well, their contract states you're responsible for resolving tree removal issues. So you actually have a say in how the land is shaped beyond just picking the elevation, design, and location. So that is a level of control I really appreciate. Now, one thing I don't appreciate, okay, they charge a $250 per day late fee. That's gonna add up fast. Overall, needing a construction loan and assuming the risk from day one, that is a big departure from what we see with other luxury builders. So whether that's a good or bad really depends on you as the buyer and your risk tolerance. So for that reason, I'm giving Partners in Building a B for their contract. You know, the good and the bad of Partners in Building is only the beginning. If you are still undecided on which builder to choose, we have an entire playlist of builder reviews that you can check out right here. In the meantime, this is Wendy Pennell, and I will catch you on the next video.